Billionaire Marriage in Dubai. By Dion Robinson. Finale. The following morning my yacht returned to its docking port around 7 a.m. as planned. Kandi and I were still asleep when I heard Captain Nazir knocking on my door. I immediately put on something decent before answering. "What is it?" I asked. "The police are here to search the boat." "Search my boat?" "I'll handle this." "No, we will handle this." A man in a uniform walks through the corridor. His name is Captain Nazir ibn Rayab. He is the captain of Dubai's police force. "Mr. Mujahid, I presume," Captain Nazir stated with an emotionless stare. "Yes. Now tell me why you are here." "We have received word that fornication and indecency are going on here." "Fornication? Who told you that?" "Your father." "Step aside." Wait! You are not going to barge in here when my wife is not decent." "Your father said you are not married, but you are here with a kafir," the chief replied. "I am married. I can show you our marriage license." "I am not interested in illegal, fabricated documents." "Now step aside." "Ya Allah. At least allow her some decency. Let me go in and talk to her." "You 5 minutes." "Hurry up," Captain Nazir demanded. I quickly entered the room and closed the door. Kandi was standing there and her morning robe with a puzzled look on her face. "What is going on?" Kandi asked with a puzzled look. "Kandi, we have a problem." "What is it?" "You can tell me." "The police are here to arrest us." "Arrest us? For what?" "In our country, fornication is a crime. We are married." "Who would say such a thing?" "My dad. He found out about our temporary marriage. He gave me an ultimatum to divorce you. I need you to remain calm and put on your abaya and hijab." Kandi nodded her head and did what I asked. When we both left the cabin, Kandi was immediately handcuffed and was led to the top deck. I did not like them handling my wife roughly. One of the police officers started to put handcuffs on me, but Captain Nazir ordered his subordinate to stop. "Why am I not being arrested?" "Thank your father for being a prominent citizen man who gives financial contributions to our police force. Be grateful." Chief Nazir turned his back to me and ordered his men to escort Kandi off the boat. They were handling her roughly. "What are you doing? Don't touch her like that," I yelled. One of the police smacked me so hard that I fell to the ground. "Please don't hurt him," Kandi cried. The guard continued to pull her off the yacht. One of the subordinates was about to assault me again until Captain Nazir yelled, "Halas!" His assistant stopped the baton in midair before it came down on me like a hammer. I held my hands up, showing that I was not a threat. "Get up," Captain Nazir demanded with a stern look in his eyes. I stood to my feet. I protested for Kandi to be free. "You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Mujahid. Fornication is a crime that can get you a month in jail," Captain Nazir replied. "Kandi is my wife." "Is she a Muslim?" "No, I mean, we are working on that. You know that marriage between a Muslim and a non-Muslim is not valid in our religion. Thus, you two have committed adultery. Go to the mosque and make tawbah and hope that Allah forgives you of your carnalities." Captain Azir replied as he darted towards the police vehicles. After the police left, I went to my cabin and got dressed. I got into my car and headed for my father's house. When I arrived, I barged into the house, storming the spacious area. One of the security guards tried to stop, saying that my father did not want to be disturbed. I pushed past my dad's security and darted into his office. My dad was on the phone talking. I was too impatient to let him finish the call. "How dare you have my wife arrested?" I yelled. My father looked at me with an extreme annoyance. "I'll call you back," he replied before hanging up. "You dare raise your voice in my house? Show me some respect, you ungrateful brat," my father demanded with a threatening voice. Even though I was angry with my father, I still was fearful of him. I attempted to lower my angered tone. "You had my wife arrested. You two broke the law. You know fornication is not taken lightly in our country. It's not fornication if you are married. Now listen to me. You will divorce that shameless woman. I have arranged a marriage to a more suitable woman." "What woman?" "Her name is Nashwa bint Malouf. She has a successful business in a halal makeup line called Nashwa Luxury Cosmetics. Her company's gross revenue is $3 million a year. She is from Saudi Arabia, from the city Riyadh. She is a more suitable companion for you, not some trashy American harlot. I am not marrying her. Look! You do whatever I say, or I will disown you. I don't care. Get out of my house, and don't bother coming back. You are out of the family business and out of my life." My father replied. I was hurt that he was leaving me homeless. I immediately left the house and went back to the yacht. I quickly packed whatever clothes Kandi and I brought. Before leaving the boat, I left the car keys in the cabin. I called a cab to the bank to withdraw a decent amount of money. When I tried to take out $500,000, I was denied access. My father had my credit cards, and my bank accounts were frozen. Yet, it was not the end of the world because I had one ace up my sleeve. "Do you trade Bitcoin?" I asked the bank teller. "Niam," the bank teller affirmed. I knew to have at least $7 billion of Bitcoin put aside without my father knowing. It was perfect because my transaction was untraceable. I traded $3 million worth of Bitcoin stock and opened a bank account. This time I would have total control of the money that I earned. I asked the banker to give me $500,000 in US dollars in cash. Once my business was concluded at the bank, I asked the cab driver to take me to the police station. While on the way, I booked a flight for Kandi and I to the United States on my iPhone. The flight would be leaving in 2 days, so I also booked the best hotel room to pamper Kandi. When I arrived at the police station, I asked for Captain Nazir. Nazir emerged from a back room. "What do you want, Mr. Mujahid?" "I came for my wife." "I already explained to you that your marriage was invalid. What if she took her shahada? Would you let her go?" "She would be Muslim, but I still cannot let her go." "Your father would see me fired," Nazir replied. "Maybe you can take an early retirement," I replied. I threw the $500,000 on the table. Nazir looked at the money with a grin. "I can reconsider your wife's freedom if she takes her shahada now." "Fine. And your father? What am I going to tell him?" "You will not tell him anything." "My father and I are no longer acquainted," I replied. Nazir took the money and commanded his guards to release Kandi. Within moments my wife was brought out of the cell. With my help with the pronunciation, Kandi recited the Shahada to please Nazir. Once Kandi finished taking the Shahada, we were let go. We both went back to the United States and settled in Dearborn, Michigan. Kandi and I remained married. Kandi went back to school and graduated with a degree in business management. We both now have a chain of grocery stores selling halal food in the Muslim community. Despite what happened in Dubai, Kandi faithfully practices Islam. Life is good for us. Alhamdulillah.